The prof's assistant asks me a rather difficult question. It tells me to give him a sentence of 11 words. Now, that is a long sentence. I think for a while and I come up with the sentence: I am sure the professor will be happy to meet me. This is 11 words. You can check. So I thought the assistant should be very happy. But when I click enter, look what happens. It says, what? You took 21 seconds to answer this? You think I have no other work? How did the assistant find out how long did I take to answer this question? Well, the way to do it is using the datetime module. What I can do is that, let's do it afresh. So I come in here, let me just make this question with a backslash n. So right now I have only one input statement, but I'm going to create a couple of datetime objects. So what I do is that I say import datetime as say dt, and I'm going to create a current time object, datetime object with the current time. So I'm just going to say dt.datetime.now. Remember, this is the current time, the time at that moment. So I'm asking one question before the one time before the question is asked, and one exactly after the question is answered. Now remember, this is an input statement, which means you're waiting for the input to be given. The moment I click enter, this second datetime object gets formed. I call it say ct2, and now I can find the difference between these two. So I said diff is equal to ct2 minus ct1. Now remember, this is a time delta object, so which means I can write something like print, what, let's just say, you can make it more interesting. I said diff dot seconds, comma, seconds to answer that, say very bad. Now let's just see this working once. If I click on run, it says tell me a sentence 11 words. So I do answer my quite diligently. I am sure the professor will be happy to meet me. When I click enter, it tells me what? It took you 13 seconds to answer that. That's very bad. Now you can make it more interesting, but you get the idea of how this is happening. Before I wrap this up, a little bit of compare and contrast is good. Imagine how would you do this in Scratch, and the module that comes to your mind, the block that comes to your mind rather, is the timer block. Timer block always keeps running, but we can reset it, for example, just before a question, and we can set it to a variable after the question has been answered. Exactly the same thing is going on here. I am creating a datetime object, current time 1, because just like the timer, the current time always keeps running. We can't stop it. So I create one here before the question, one after the question, and I just get the difference between those two. I hope this was interesting. I hope this makes it clear, and clearly you can use this in a lot of ways. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye bye.